And we finally get to see Lumen, Historia at the end of this chapter. I'm literally thinking like, what kind of power has this got to be if it is Fairy Tail's ace and showing what it was, if it's Mavis herself? So what's going to happen? Are they going to use like all her magical power in that crystal? Or are they going to, you know, resurrect her or something like that? Like, what's going to happen? Because seriously, to have Mavis there herself, the first Fairy Tail master, things are going to go down. So still literally this chapter, I said that the only weakest part about the chapter was literally when we met pretty much everyone talking about all the situations that's happened, you know, oh yeah, we beat up this member of Tartarus and all that. Yeah, and they were saying, oh, let's go and destroy Thace and all that. Apart from that little part of this chapter, the best part and all that in this one was Natsu, Sting, and Rogue versus Manga. Holy shit, did Manga get very strong. He's like, oh, please excuse me, like, Mr. N, like that, as he puts the book down, and he's just like, absolutely fucking them up. Like, he was seriously wrecking Natsu just on his own. And, yo, Natsu's a prideful person, but when he's even asking Sting and Rogue for help, you know that this is a serious villain that they're going against right now. And it's like, they're even shocked as well. It's like, oh, holy shit, you know, he's even asking for us right now. And that just goes to show, I guess, like, Natsu's more trust in these characters right now than what he had, like, originally. Like, I think, like, if it was literally straight out of, you know, the Grand Magic Games or something like that, I think they'd just be like, no, I'm not trusting you guys. You guys are still assholes. But I think, you know, since some time has passed since then, I think it's now about time that they actually work together. And not to mention as well, we've seen that he's actually able to absorb, I don't know if he can absorb all Dragon Flame, but it seems like he can actually absorb both, like, Sting and Rogue's powers. Since they did, like, a combined, you know, like White Shadow, like Fang thing that they did together, you know, one of their aces in the hole, and that was absorbed down. So it makes me wonder if actually Natsu stuff can get absorbed as well, because he did like Fire, Lightning, Shadow, like he did like Sword Horn into his face, then a Roar, then he did the Lightning Fire Dragon mode into him, and that still didn't do nothing. And he's like, I hadn't even shown you my serious side. So definitely they're gonna have to pull out all the stops. I'm very interested to see like how Natsu and the gang are going to get through this. Like, are they all going to use Dragon Force at once, you know, just to absolutely destroy him? Because that's one thing they need to do right now. They need to go into their Dragon Force mode. That's like the only possible way, or Natsu absorb both lightning, like Shadow, every kind of like Dragon Flame that he can get. Or another possible theory that I've had is that Igneel is actually going to throw some fire his way, and that's actually going to activate him into his Dragon Force mode, or going to give him a huge upgrade and like a power up that we're actually going to see him, and that's going to be the one thing that's going to make Natsu more stronger than he originally is in the current situation that he's in. Apart from that, though, it was like that ending of that chapter was just absolutely crazy when Makarov just revealed Lumen Historia, we still got our ace, Lumen Historia, and it seems to be Mavis herself in like some crystal. And I'm just wondering, like, what the hell is that? Because remember, like, Gildas has seen this before, and he was, like, shocked, like, whoa, what the hell is this? So, was, like, the whole thing about the grave, is that, like, just false? Because remember, she said there was a grave there, and that was just pure bullshit. That was just maybe some, like, leftover, like, magic of her. I'm wondering about that with the fairy glitter. And also, as well, it said, like, this line in particular got me interested in what it said online, since it said Fairy Tail's final weapon. The releasing of the forbidden, Mason frozen in time and asleep, and now she will become the key that saves the world. So I'm thinking, like, is she going to arise and, like, take over? Because it's saying, like, she's frozen in time and asleep. So did she actually even die, or did she just seal herself? Like, that's one thing that I'm questioning about. Maybe, like, that ghost that we've been seeing is actually just, you know, a part of the power. Since we know, if anyone's seen the Fairy Tail Zero stuff, that she has the ability to make illusions, so maybe she made an illusion of herself to relay her true force, you know, something like that. There's just many theories that I've got right now, but it's like, can next week just appear already? Because I really want to see what Lumen Historia does, because it seems like going to be a very interesting thing, and it's like 407 is going to be an amazing chapter. Honestly, this chapter would have been a perfect one if it wasn't just that little bit at the start with like everyone just like fighting like that Lammy or something. I think that one of those shitty Tartarus members like that, and just like talking about everything that's happened. So other than that, I'm going to give this one an 8.5 to a 9. This one was a very fucking solid chapter, and I honestly really enjoyed it. But let me know anything in the comment section down below. But that's all of me, so thank you very much for watching. As always, what do you think about Lumen's story? Do you think my theory is right about that? Also, do you think I'm also right about where the theory of going between Natsu? He's going to have to eventually get some help from Igneel and absorb that flame. But that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time.